Hi there, Sardar Yegulalp here for InfoWorld at IDG. In this episode of Smart Go, I'm going to give a tour of Go's const feature, or the use of assignments that have immutable or constant values. Many languages have the concept of a constant, or some named value that cannot be changed during the course of a program's run. C and C++ users know about constants, as do Java users. Go has constants as well, so the way they work should seem familiar to people coming from any of those languages. Constants in Go can be one of four basic types: numbers, both integers and floats, strings, characters, and booleans. In this example here, I declare and print one of each type of constant that I've just enumerated. The syntax for declaring a constant, as you can see, is pretty straightforward. We just use the keyword const before a variable declaration. Because constants can only be a small selection of types, the type of the constant can typically be inferred from the declaration. I've noted here the default types that we get for each constant that we're creating. You can also explicitly declare a type if you need to, as we do here with an integer. And also, you can declare multiple constants at once by using this block declaration syntax. Now, when you declare a constant in a global scope, it's going to be available everywhere, but you have to be careful not to define constants of the same name in both global and local scopes. If you do this, the local declaration will overshadow the global one, and you might get unexpected results. We might think here that the output will be hello world, but instead we get something else. Constants, as the name implies, do not change. If you try to reassign a constant, as in this example, the code will not even compile. The declaration ahead of time of a constant ensures that this will be the case. Constants also cannot be anything but those four basic types that I enumerated. You can't make constants out of slices, for instance, or structs or maps or arrays, because all of those things imply mutability. If I try to initialize a slice as a constant, it will fail at the compilation stage. And no, I can't do something like make an array and then try to take a slice from it as a constant. That is not allowed either. All of these things will fail at the compiler level. They won't even run. Constants also have to be always known at compile time. You cannot create a constant from another variable whose value is only known at runtime. Here's an example. Here we're taking input from the user as an integer, and then we attempt to create a constant from that. But this fails. We can only initialize constants with something that's itself a constant. In other words, a value that we state ahead of time. There is some talk of having a way to specify read-only values in the next version of Go, where you could create a read-only or constant value from something that's dynamic, but Go version 1 has no provision for this. One final note about constants is how to name them. In many languages like C, there's a tradition of naming constants in all uppercase with underscores. In Go, constants should not have names that are stylistically different from other variables. This is in part because if the initial letter of an identifier, like a variable name, is uppercase, the identifier can be made available outside of its module. To that end, one should only make variable names uppercase when you're doing that to begin with. Constants should look like any other variable, so that you can control their visibility behaviors as you would any other variable. Now, this business of how identifiers can be made visible outside a module by changing the case of the first letter, that's important enough that I'm going to talk about it at length in a future video. But again, for the sake of constants, just name them the same way that you would name any other variable in Go. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the IDG Tech Talk channel on YouTube. And for more Smart Go and more Dev with Sardar, be sure to follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Infoworld.com.